Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Okay, the other day I released a video that had a lot of very important information, all the things you need to know about the Iraqi Dinar. I was able to ask questions and get answers to the important things you want to know about. Why is the Iraqi Dinar so cheap? How can Iraq increase the value of the Iraqi Dinar? And is there any restrictions and sanctions against the Iraqi Dinar? In the beginning of the video, I put a little funny thing in there. And come to find out, a lot of people watched it and then didn't get past that part of the video and missed out on a lot of information. So I'd asked you guys, what do you think? Should I just repost the video and take out the funny part and just leave the more important information in there? And there was a yes, because most people didn't make it past the Zoom meeting call. Yeah, that wasn't a real Zoom meeting, you guys. I was just being silly. Anyways, so here is the most important part of the video that you guys should hear. This way you know exactly where the Iraqi Dinar stands. So let's get into this. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold, silver, or any other precious metals, head on over to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description, or just type in www.moneymetals.com/Pimpy. If you make a purchase when you follow that link, you will automatically be entered for a chance to win 10 free silver ounces. So get started today, and hopefully your stack will start to look like this real soon. So head on over, tell them Pimpy sent you. You can follow me over on other platforms. I do have my own group over on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. So head on over here and join us. It's free to do so. In here, I do post updates. If I should get on suspension from YouTube or get removed from YouTube and you want to know what happened to me, I'll let you know right here in this group. I can be found on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and the cool thing about YouTube, if you come over here and you join and you find my channel, I got videos going back, I believe, a couple years. So if you want to see some older videos that I have on Nasera, Jacera, gold, silver, cryptos, come on over here and join. Look me up and check out my videos. You can also find me on Odyssey. Catch me on Rumble. When I say that the links for all these are down below in the description, some of you don't know what I'm talking about. It's real simple. Just go down to the bottom right here of any of my videos. See this? This is the description. Hit show more. And there are all the links to all the platforms I just spoke about. So if you do want to head on over to Money Metals, just click it. And there you are. So come on over. Join us. I look forward to having you. Alrighty. Let's have fun, shall we? So one of the first questions that I ask is, why the hell is the Iraqi Dinar so cheap? The Iraqi Dinar is considered to be a relatively cheap currency compared to other major currencies in the world. There are several factors that contribute to the low value of the Iraqi Dinar, including historical events, economic instability, and geopolitical factors. First, the historic events. One of the main reasons for the low value of the Iraqi Dinar is the historic events that have affected Iraq's economy. The most significant event was the Gulf War in 1990 through 1991, which led to a severe economic downturn in Iraq. The war resulted in extensive damage to infrastructure, including oil fields and refineries, which significantly impact Iraq's ability to generate revenue from its primary export commodity, oil. Additionally, economic sanctions imposed on Iraq by the United Nations further hindered its economic growth and stability. Second factor, economic instability. Iraq has faced significant economic challenges over the years, including high inflation rates and a lack of diversification in its economy. The country heavily relies on oil exports for revenue, making it vulnerable to fluctuations in global oil prices. When oil prices are low, Iraq's economy suffers as it struggles to generate sufficient income to support its population and meet its financial obligations. Moreover, corruption and mismanagement have plagued Iraq's public sector, hindering economic development and contributing to the depreciation of the dinar. So these are things that I spoke about before. Geopolitical factors also play a role in devaluation of the Iraqi dinar. Iraq has experienced political instability and conflict for many years, including the U.S.-led invasion in 2003 and subsequently insurgency. These events have created an uncertain environment for investors and hindered foreign direct investments, the FDI. The lack of FDI limits economic growth and contributes to the depreciation of the currency. So obviously, when they get their crap together and they are with the World Trade Organization, that should be a big boost for them. Furthermore, regional tensions and conflicts in the Middle East have also had an impact on Iraq's economy. The ongoing conflict with ISIS and Syria and the border regional instability have created a challenging environment for economic development and currency stability. He finished with, the Iraqi dinar is relatively cheap due to a combination of historic events, economic instability, and geopolitical factors. The Gulf War, economic sanctions, high inflation rates, lack of economic diversification, political instability, and regional conflicts have all contributed to the depreciation of the dinar. It is important to note that currency values are complex and influenced by various factors, making it difficult to predict future changes in the value. So for those of you out there going, hey, they got oil, or hey, their budget was just passed, there's no way they could do this budget with the 1300 rate. You're wrong. I told you all these things were major factors in contributing to the value of the Iraqi dinar. But we weren't done. I asked more questions. Obviously, my next question was, is there anything Iraq can do to increase the value of the Iraqi dinar? Strengthening the economy. One of the key factors that can contribute to increasing the value of a country's currency is a strong and stable economy. Iraq can focus on implementing economic reforms, diversifying its economy, and reducing its dependence on oil exports. By promoting sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, tourism, and services, Iraq can create a more balanced and resilient economy, which in turn can positively impact the value of its currency. These are all the things that we spoke about in the past. Fiscal discipline. Iraq needs to maintain fiscal discipline by controlling government spending and reducing budget deficits. This can be achieved through measures such as cutting unnecessary expenditures, improving the tax collection system, and reducing corruption. By maintaining a disciplined fiscal policy, Iraq can instill confidence in investors and international financial institutions, which can lead to an increase in the value of its currency. So we know they have already implemented reforms. That's just some of the steps that need to be taken. But at least they're going in the right direction. Monetary policy. The Central Bank of Iraq plays a crucial role in managing the country's monetary policy. To increase the value of its currency, the central bank can implement measures such as tightening monetary policy, controlling inflation, and maintaining adequate foreign exchange reserves. By managing interest rates effectively and ensuring price stability, Iraq can attract foreign investment and strengthen its currency. Well, we know their inflation is under control, and it has been for quite some time. We also know that they're making all kinds of changes, especially within their banking sector, has made a lot of upgrades to their banking system. As far as foreign exchange reserves, well, what do we learn? They're up to what, 150 billion? Is that right? Yeah, that's really high, and they continue to grow. So they're doing very good there. So far, Iraq is doing all the right things. Investment promotion. Encouraging both domestic and foreign investment is crucial for economic growth and currency appreciation. Iraq can create an attractive investment climate by implementing investor-friendly policies, improving infrastructure, simplifying bureaucratic procedures, protecting property rights, and ensuring the rule of law. By attracting more investment, Iraq can stimulate economic activity and increase the demand for its currency. So being stable, making sure that the citizens aren't so mad that you keep having uprisings, making sure that terrorist groups don't go in there. And in my opinion, they are doing what they need to do to make sure that people have at least the impression that they are stable more than they were before. International trade, here we go. Expanding international trade can also positively impact the value of the Iraqi currency. By diversifying its export markets and increasing the volume of non-oil exports, Iraq can reduce its reliance on oil revenues and improve its trade balance. This can be achieved through trade agreements, market access reforms, export promotion initiatives, and enhancing the competitiveness of Iraq products in the global markets. So we know they are doing what they can to be a member of the World Trade Organization. We know that this budget is supposed to have money that's going to be implemented to help develop those other markets, such as agriculture, tourism, manufacturing. We know that they have signed a lot of memorandums of understanding to do business internationally. We know they are working on trade agreements with the World Trade Organization. They are working on market access reforms. I skipped one here, so I want to make sure to jump on it. Exchange rate management. Iraq currently operates with a managed floating exchange rate regime where the central bank intervenes in the foreign exchange market to stabilize the currency. To increase the value of its currency, Iraq can consider adopting a more flexible exchange rate regime or transitioning towards a free floating exchange rate system. This would allow market forces to determine the value of the currency based on supply and demand dynamics. And before everybody gets all excited, I don't think Iraq is quite there yet. This could be very dangerous for them. Just think about what Soros did to England. So not quite there yet. Let them finish with some portions of infrastructure. Make sure that the banking sector reforms are taking place and that the money from the budget is being allocated to the proper places without a bunch of reports about corruption. Political stability. Political stability is a fundamental prerequisite for economic growth and currency appreciation. Iraq needs to ensure a stable political environment by promoting national unity, resolving internal conflicts, and strengthening democratic institutions. A stable political climate can enhance investors' confidence, attract foreign direct investment, and contribute to the overall stability of the economy and currency. At this moment, I wouldn't say that the political scene is balanced. There still is some issues as far as unity is concerned. Al-Sadini gives the impression that he's working on it. But like I said, I've been waiting for this budget to pass to see if their true colors come out. But if I reflect on where they are right now, it definitely appears that Al-Sadini is doing all he can to make sure there's some peace and unity there. Financial sector development. Developing a robust and well-regulated financial sector is crucial for currency appreciation. Iraq can focus on strengthening its banking system, improving access to credit for businesses and individuals, enhancing financial literacy, and promoting financial inclusion. A well-functioning financial sector can facilitate economic growth, attract foreign investment, and contribute to the stability of the country. So we know they're in the process of strengthening their banking system. As far as improving access to credit for businesses and individuals, they've been doing very good about reaching out to citizens about loans. But more importantly, they now want to create a department or a business whose job it is to go out there and make sure loans are guaranteed. Enhancing financial literacy. We know they've been trying really hard to educate their citizens about what's going on. So I would say so far so good. The conclusion is increasing the value of Iraqi's currency requires a comprehensive approach that encompasses economic reforms, fiscal discipline, monetary policy management, exchange rate flexibility, investment promotion, political stability, international trade expansion, and financial sector development. By implementing these measures effectively and consistently over time, Iraq can work towards achieving a stronger currency. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there telling you guys, oh, they've already done all this stuff. No, they haven't. They're in the process of doing it. And just because the government seems to have been stable for a couple of months, that doesn't mean foreign investors are going to come running, knocking down their door going, yeah, that's long enough for me. Let's go ahead and move in. No, they want consistency there. The government must be stable. The country must be stable. The economy must be stable. All of these things are key factors in having foreign investors come in and increasing the value of the Iraqi dinar. Yeah, I know you guys are being lied to, and they're telling you what? What are they saying? Oh man, they passed a 3-year budget. There's no way they're going to be able to work with the 1300 rate. They've been working with a low exchange rate for 20 years. What's the difference? So don't let them lie to you. They're full of crap, and they're claiming to have insider information. Yeah, okay. And my last question was, are there any restrictions and sanctions against the Iraqi dinar? There are indeed restrictions and sanctions against the Iraqi dinar. The Iraqi dinar is the official currency of Iraq, and its value has been subject to various restrictions and sanctions over the years due to political and economic factors. United Nations Security Council resolution. One of the main sources of restrictions and sanctions against Iraqi dinar comes from the United Nations Security Council resolutions. Following the Gulf War of 1990 through 91, Iraq was subject to a series of resolutions that imposed economic sanctions on the country. These sanctions aim to pressure the Iraqi government to comply with international demands, including disarmament and compliance with UN resolutions. Now, we know they've cleared a lot of UN resolutions. As a matter of fact, one of the big ones was Chapter 7. But people are out there jumping around going, yeah, that's it. The dinar is going to go up. I was like, what's these? Man, come on, people. It takes a lot more than that. That is major. It is major. There's a lot more things they need to do. Resolution 661, adopted in 1990, imposed a comprehensive trade embargo on Iraq, which includes restrictions on the use of its currency. The resolution prohibits all member states from engaging in any financial transactions involving Iraqi currency or providing financial assistance to Iraq. Remember, I did a video not that long ago and I talked about this. I said you notice that anything and everything Iraq does when it comes to trade or internationally, they got to get permission from the United States. A perfect example of that is Iraq trying to buy energy from Iran. Resolution 1483, adopted in 2003 after the U.S.-led invasion of Iraq, lifted some of the previous sanctions but maintained restrictions on current aspects of Iraqi's economy, including its currency. It authorized a development fund for Iraq to hold and disperse funds for the benefit of the Iraqi people, but it also requires that all oil revenues be deposited into a DFI account held at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. And we know that's still going on. U.S. Department of Treasury sanctions. In addition to UN resolutions, the U.S. Department of Treasury has also imposed specific sanctions on Iraq and its currency. These sanctions are primarily aimed at targeting individuals or entities involved in the list of activities or supporting terrorism. I did a video speaking about that as well, saying they do have sanctions from the Department of Treasury, but these are certain individuals. I didn't see any entities listed on there besides the businesses owned by these individuals. For example, Executive Order 13303, issued in 2003, protects certain Iraqi assets from attachment or seizure by the U.S. authorities. However, this order does not mean that there are no restrictions on the Iraqi dinar. It simply ensures that these certain assets related to Iraqi's oil industries are protected. Furthermore, the U.S. Department of Treasury Office of Foreign Asset Control has designated several individuals and entities associated with terrorism or other illicit activities, including some involved in currency counterfeiting. Transactions involving these designated individuals or entities are prohibited, which indirectly affects the use and trade of the Iraqi dinar. International financial institutions such as the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank also play a role in imposing restrictions on the Iraqi dinar. These institutions often require countries to meet certain economic and financial criteria before providing financial assistance or loans. Iraq has been subject to various IMF programs aimed at stabilizing its economy and promoting economic reforms. As part of these programs, Iraq has had to implement measures to address issues such as fiscal deficit, inflation, and exchange rate stability. These measures can indirectly affect the value and use of the Iraqi dinar. I did a video not that long ago explaining how the IMF was not thrilled about the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar, but they went ahead and did it anyways. So if they got input or any way to control or restrict the use internationally, that would be bad for Iraq. But right now, so far, so good. All they got was a slap on the hand. And in conclusion, there are restrictions and sanctions against the Iraqi dinar imposed by the United Nations Security Council resolution, the U.S. Department of Treasury, and international financial institutions. These restrictions aim to address political and economic concerns related to Iraq and its currency. Anyways, there you have it. All the information necessary for you to know what to look for when it comes to the IQD. Do me a favor, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think and how helpful it is. And I'll get back at you later. I'm out.